is Daphne Dunstan Wharton, and I was a proud member of the DC Youth Chorale from 1978 to 1981. I auditioned for the chorale in the 9th grade on the very day the Washington Post was preparing an article on DC's premier youth ensemble. The rest is history. It was during this time that I learned work ethic, discipline, perseverance, the art of multitasking, and developed lifetime friendships. The chorale provided a place of full acceptance of my musical passion. Although my prior musical influence was R&B, especially Motown, I found a new and exciting classical voice in the chorale. And in the 11th grade, I joined the chorale's opera workshop. I was exposed to choral and music masterpieces, composers, and gifted musicians. More importantly, the DC Youth Chorale instilled in me that my voice mattered and reaffirmed that I mattered. Without a doubt, I know that Edward Jackson, Orpheus Paul Gatlin, and Talmadge Fauntleroy helped to direct my life in a way I could have never imagined. Because of them and the chorale, I am a music educator, a voice teacher, a classical vocalist, and a lover of all things artistic. I have taught for over 30 years, driven by the desire and passion to give to my students the musical education, experiences, and opportunities that were afforded me. Because of the chorale's influence in my life, art is at the heart of everything I do.
Hi, my name is Deetra Battle Washington. When I think about the DC Youth Chorale, I am grateful. I've thought about my years with the DC Youth Chorale, and I started out singing with the DC Youth Chorale Children's Chorale and continued on to be a part of the DC Youth Chorale, where I remained throughout my adolescent and youthful years. I was consistently provided with examples of excellence by Mrs. Yvette Holt and Mr. Edward Jackson. I was trained to demand the best of myself and others, to work hard, love life, and to appreciate and enjoy the art of music. Being a part of the chorale helped me overcome my challenges that were related to shyness. My musical journey has allowed me to sing all over the world and come back home and direct the children's and men's choir at my church, to perform in opera, musical theater, and participate in several choirs as a soloist and a chorister. I also teach private lessons at 2 high schools and for the children of the gospel. I learned that when life brings many challenges, and when my life didn't go the way I thought it would go, God still has a plan for me. I am grateful to God, my family, my friends, and the DC Youth Chorale to still be operating in my gifting, doing what the Lord has called me to do.
Hi, this is Cheryl Davis Phillips. I am a DC Youth Chorale alum. I was in the chorale from about 1970 to 1974. And some of my fondest memories in life were with the DC Youth Chorale. I remember many of the relationships that I established while in the chorale, and a lot of those people are still in my life to this day. We talk periodically and check in with one another. I remember the trips we took to Spokane, Washington for the World's Fair. We went to Boston to sing for what was then called the MENC, the Music Educators National Convention. We also went to Romania, which was the highlight of most of our lives during that time period in the chorale. We've done a lot of concerts, many concerts at Constitution Hall, at Kennedy Center with the National Symphony Orchestra. We were just on the go, and I loved it. I loved the things that we learned in life, the life lessons, the disciplines that we required. Discipline was one thing that we developed while in the chorale, tenacity, determination, and we developed a spirit of excellence. Mr. Jackson required no less than excellence from us. And so I value my time that was spent in the DC Youth Chorale. I'm so excited that we are at this point where we are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the founding of the chorale. What a legacy, what a rich history, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. And the best for the legacy of the chorale is yet to come.
Hello, my name is Joyce Garrett. As a new teacher in the DC Public School in the mid-1960s, I had heard about this new choir in the city that had singers, the best singers from all of the different high schools. So I started going to the rehearsals, and soon I became like a section leader for the alto section. We would be so proud. We would make sure that when we got back in there with Eddie Jackson, that our section knew their parts. I learned so many vocal and rehearsal management techniques from Eddie Jackson. I was really so in awe of him. The best memory was always at the citywide festival at Constitution Hall when the DC Youth Chorale would sing after the senior high choir had sung. So you know this is a choir that's even on another level from all of the other choirs. I have such great memories from that choir. And with what I learned from Eddie Jackson, I went on to try to develop my own dynamic choir at Eastern High School.
My name is Monica Anderson Spencer, and I worked and sang with the District of Columbia Youth Chorale program from 1976 to 1985. So many of the choral and rehearsal techniques that I depend on today, I learned while working with Mr. Edward Jackson and the DC Youth Chorale. I have been able to utilize these skills in the classroom with middle school, junior high school, and high school ensembles, and with church choirs and adult community groups. Working as an administrator with the Youth Chorale, I learned how to navigate the bureaucracy of the DC public school system and the DC government. I discovered the importance of written communication as evidence and confirmation. These skills have served me well, and I even learned that the memoranda I would send to colleagues at one school became known as MASSes, Monica Anderson Spencer Specials. I even had a colleague at one of the schools that I taught in Massachusetts compliment me and say, "I know why you're so good. You graduated from Howard University." I thanked him, but I also recognize that anything that I do as a music educator and a choral conductor has been heavily influenced by my time and experience with the DC Youth Chorale.
Hi, I'm Dawn Jones, 1975 to 1978. The DC Youth Chorale, under the direction of the Edward Jackson, changed my life, opening up a world beyond belief. The exposure to excellence, the plethora of music from all genres. It afforded me a full scholarship to Catholic University of America, landed me the role of Nadine Carver in the original motion picture Hairspray, took me to Africa, where I was the first American news anchor and journalist for the Sudan English-speaking news, to currently working in New York City at the famed school, LaGuardia Arts, that was used as the model for Duke Ellington School of the Arts. You see, I learned that the skies were the limit. Thank you, DC Youth Chorale, under the direction of Edward Jackson.
Hello, my name is Leona Lowry Fitzhugh. I'm a choral director, music educator, pianist, and organist. And today the question is posed, how did the DC Youth Chorale impact your life? Well, I can definitely say that my career choices, the path that I have been on these many 30 plus years, has definitely been, the foundation was laid in those years in high school in DC Youth Chorale. I attended McKinley Tech High School and traveled with my friends weekly to Ellington, woohoo, class of 81. In fact, I drove because my mother was tired of driving me back and forth. And we drove to Ellington to be part of that musical excellence weekly. And we loved Mr. Jackson and the encouragement that he would give everyone. Everyone was made to feel like you can do this, you can be excellent. And so I looked to do that with my students. I went on to teach and direct choirs in high school, and largely because of that love placed in me for the repertoire, for the students, for the choral beauty that I experienced by being in the DC Youth Chorale. I'm forever grateful and continue on this pathway because it's a journey. It's not a destination. And so I hope that someone can look back and say, I'm so grateful for being in Miss Lowry Fitzhugh's ensemble. And then I can say here that I'm so grateful for being in Mr. Jackson's ensemble and in the DC Youth Chorale, because it definitely has laid the foundation for so many careers, so much excellence, and a definite legacy of music. So thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ralph Glenmore. I was a member of the DC Youth Chorale in my high school days, 1971 through 74. I really enjoyed being a part of the DC Youth Chorale, mostly for the music. The music was so wonderful. It wasn't just gospel, it wasn't just classical, but it was a mixture of several different types of music. And I enjoyed the sound that we created, alto, soprano, everything, tenor, bass. It was so exciting. Just the warm-up was beautiful, but the actual singing was amazing. And thanks to Mr. Jackson, Mr. Edward Jackson, we were professionals. He expected excellence. He knew how to pull it out of us. And the sound that came out of us was amazing. I enjoyed touring. We went to Romania, Spokane, Washington, and did a lot of concerts. And we were a force to be reckoned with, and we enjoyed it. And one of the highlights was after rehearsal at Paul Junior High School, we would get on catch the bus together and continue singing in the back of the bus and it was good. We got applause from the other riders and everything, but that was exciting. Still, yeah, 60-year anniversary is a blessing, and I'm glad to be part of it. And all this for Mr. Jackson, who was a excellent teacher, conductor, musician, and just an overall good father figure, really. So that was me.
Happy 60th anniversary, DC Youth Chorale. This is Debbie Davis from Paris. I just got off stage. That's what all this drag is. And I couldn't leave Paris without thanking Edward Jackson and the DC Youth Chorale for making my life possible. I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but I'm sure everybody is aware how important the Youth Chorale was and is for young Black children, for their education, for the culture. And look at me, a little Black girl who was 13, coming to you from Paris. Thank you so much. I love you all, and happy 60th birthday anniversary. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Cheryl Freeman, and I was a member of the DC Youth Chorale in the late 1960s to the early 1970s, when Mr. Eddie Jackson was our inspirational leader who really cared about us. And I really looked forward to going to rehearsals, singing, and performing with the chorale. And Mr. Jackson gave me my first solo, Oh Happy Day, which helped me to believe that I could be that singer and actor that I dreamed of being. So when so many others discouraged me and I didn't believe in myself, Mr. Jackson encouraged me to embrace my dreams and to believe that I had everything inside to fulfill my dreams. He took me to the side one day and he said, "If anybody can do it, you can, Cheryl." Oh, he helped me with my confidence. He helped me prepare for my auditions for Oberlin Conservatory of Music and Manhattan School of Music, which both I was accepted into with a full scholarship. And then I continued on with my hard work and keeping my head up to fulfill my dream as being a successful singer and actress doing Broadway, film, TV, animation, and also mentoring young aspiring artists. Being in the DC Youth Chorale and being that teenager that had that one person, Mr. Jackson, who believed in me and helped me to believe in myself, gave me courage. Thank you, Mr. Jackson, and thank you, DC Youth Chorale.
I am Cheryl, the proud member of the DC Youth Chorale from 1972 until 1974. The DC Youth Chorale had a major impact on my life, unbeknownst to me at the time. I was the extremely shy girl in the second soprano section who could barely open her mouth, but Ms. Holt helped to change that. You gave me the confidence to stand before any audience. As teenagers, we were required to maintain high moral standards and integrity. And more importantly, there were more than 100 voices in that room. And under the direction of Mr. Edward Jackson, whom I'm extremely thankful to for even giving me the opportunity to be a part, took those 100 harmonious voices and created one voice, one sound, and one unified body. I am also grateful to DC Youth Chorale and my parents for instilling the attributes of compassion, friendship, unity, and above all, training me to become a great listener. I carry these life lessons with me daily, whether it is during treating patients in my dental practice, speaking before different organizations, or today serving as the 98th president of the National Dental Association. One thing I know for sure is I would not be the woman and leader speaking before you this day without the DC Youth Chorale. So to all of you, thank you.
This is Dr. Tony Jackson. I was in the DC Youth Chorale from 1978 until 1982. I want to thank the DC Youth Chorale for instilling in me the values of stick-to-itness and collaboration and cooperation. We learn how to work together, we learn how to stick to the task, we learn how to get it done, and ultimately we learn how to commit to making sure that we finished what we started. Thank you, DC's Chorale. Thank you, Edward Jackson. And I wouldn't be where I am today without you, without the program, and without the caring support of that institution many, many years ago. Happy anniversary.